In this video, I'm going to show you how to build an LLM wiki using Claude Code and Obsidian. You might also hear this called the AI second brain. It's essentially the same concept, just with a different name. So this is a system where Claude actually remembers everything you give it, your projects, your notes, your ideas, and it gets smarter the more you use it. And it takes only about 5 minutes to set it up, and I'll walk you through it step by step. So let's get right into it. So first, let's talk about the common problem that most people have when they use AI. You watch a tutorial, you take notes, or you save a document, and 6 months later, you can't find it, or you have to start from scratch again. So you end up wasting so much of your time. Think about how many times you've Googled the same thing twice because you couldn't find where you saved it. So that's the problem that we're going to solve with the LLM Wiki. It basically helps you organize your knowledge. You can drop anything in, any articles, transcript, notes, ideas, and then Claude organizes it automatically and can reference it anytime you need it. So the more you put in, the smarter the system gets. And this is how it works. You basically have two main folders. The first one is the raw folder. This is where you can drop anything in. And the second folder is the wiki folder. That's what Claude Code creates from everything in your raw folder. It reads through your content, organizes it into pages, and builds a relationship between everything automatically. And it requires no manual work on your part. And you don't need to be technical at all to do this. If you can drag and drop a file, you can run this system. And now let me show you how to set this up step by step. So the first step is to come to Obsidian's website, which is obsidian.md, and I'll include all the direct links in the description below. And then you can just download it for your operating system. So I have a Mac, so I'll just click on Get Obsidian for Mac OS. After you download and install it, we can open up the app. So let's go open Obsidian. And this is what you'll see. And then let's click on Create New Vault. And then you can give it a name. So let me just name this Second Brain Example. And then you choose a location. So basically just like a folder. So I'll just create a folder here. Second Brain Example. Click on Create, and then just open. So that's the name of your vault, and that's your location folder. And then let's click on Create. And the next step, let's come into Visual Studio Code, or whichever place that you like to run Claude Code. Click on New Window. So here we have our Visual Studio Code, and let's click on this Explorer tab here, and then open the same folder that we just created. So I will open up this Second Brain Example folder. Click on Open, and then you'll see that folder right here. So next we can come to this page, which is the LLM Wiki that was created by Andrej Karpathy. So let's copy all this. Right click and then copy, and then come back to Claude Code and just paste this in. And that's basically the instructions from Karpathy that's going to build out everything that we need. And also let's paste in this prompt. So you can screenshot this or just type this in. So we're basically saying you are my LLM Wiki agent. Turn this idea into a complete second brain system. Guide me step by step. Create the Claude.md schema with rules. Set up index.md and log.md. Define folder structure and show me the first ingest example. From now on, every response must follow this schema. And then let's send this in. And I will also open up Obsidian here on the left-hand side. Let's click on Proceed here. And then you'll see the two folders that were just created, the raw folder and the wiki folder. And when it's done, you'll see add a source here. You can drop a file in the raw folder and tell Claude Code to ingest it. So that's basically how you can add information into Obsidian. So let me show you an example. So let's come into this website here, which talks about best practices for Claude Code. You can just copy this page. Obviously, that's one way if you want to save this information. But the easier way is to just come to Obsidian Web Clipper. You can just come to this website. You can just add this Chrome extension. So click on Add to Chrome. And when you have added to Chrome, you'll see this icon here. So we can come back to this page, click on that icon. And then you want to make sure here reflects the raw folder. So you want to type in raw and then just click on Add to Obsidian. Click on Open Obsidian. And then you'll see here best practices for Claude Code. And basically all the information from that web page is added over here. So the next step is to come back to Visual Studio Code, and then we can say, I've just clipped an article on the best practices for Claude Code. I've placed it in the raw folder. Can you go ahead to ingest that? And let's hit enter. And then it's going to find the clipped article, and then it's going to start working on it. And you see the breakdown here. and it's going to generate 8 different concept pages, 2 updates, index, and log. And when it's done, you'll see ingest complete. It created 10 concept pages, and there's a total of 20 wiki pages. So we come here and we click on wiki. We can see all the different concepts here. So Cloud MD file, context window management, explore plan code, MCP servers. So these are all the different concepts that was provided on the website, and they are nicely organized. You can see the title here, the tags, the definition, the setup, use cases. So everything's organized nicely in like a wiki format. And one thing about the Obsidian Chrome extension that I want to show you is that you can come here to the settings. And when you come to default, you scroll down. And for the note location, you can change this to raw. So the default save location will be the raw folder. So once you have the foundation in place, you can use the LLM Wiki as your knowledge base. This way you can save your notes, your ideas, or your resources, and they're organized and also searchable. You can use it for work or personal. You can use it for whatever you're building. And you can even connect it to your AI executive assistant that reads your wiki before responding to you, so it will always have full context. And that's how you can get your LLM Wiki set up and running with Obsidian and Claude Code. If this was helpful, consider subscribing, as I post often on tutorials on how to use Claude Code. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Hope to see you in the next one.